Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another edition, the final edition for 2024 of the CCA California podcast. Good to be with you another week. Tonie, how are you?
Good. Do you know how many podcasts we did this year alone?
I'm glad you asked because I'm checking right now. So we started, I'm going to challenge you on some math here. We started on episode 72. And we are now at 106. So that's 34?
Math, yeah.
And I was an English major. Wow, 34 episodes. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. I think our first year we had 41 in 2022. The next year in 2023 we had 29. So we're
right in the middle.
Yeah, we're right in the middle. We split the difference a little bit. So we're on a good pace. But you know what? We gave it the old college try, which is good. But hope you are doing well out there. Thank you so much for joining us once again. I know we're going live on Instagram as well right now. Tonie, how we doing on Instagram?
We're kicking up. We got a handful of people. I see friends of mine that have hopped on. Hello. Yeah, we got some people coming in.
Nice. Well, this is going to be our final episode for 2024. This is kind of a recap episode of the whole year. I know I've got quite a bit of thoughts. I'm sure you do as well, Tonie. But
I always have thoughts.
Yeah, good point. But I'll start this and kick this one off. I think 2024 was yet another banner year for CCA California. We've gotten a lot of work done. We've had some great events. We've fundraised quite a bit. We have great sponsors as well that kicked in once again in 2024. And overall, I think it went fairly well. We had a lot of ups, not so many downs, but a lot of ups. And, it's a great year to build upon for 2025.
Yeah, I think for this year, from what I've seen, is that there are a lot of changes for CCA, and growing up was a big term that I've heard thrown around in the last couple months, especially with STAR this year. It was a big deal for us here in California compared to other states. But I think the complexity of all the events, too, has been different this year than in the past. Mm-hmm. So correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I think STAR was a great success, and we know many, many, many out there listening participated in the STAR tournament, so thank you. You really are the reason why we were so successful in our first year, and a lot of great things to come with STAR for next year. I think we're going to make an announcement here shortly at the beginning of January as to what all of the new twists for STAR are going to entail. We've got a lot of exciting news and a lot of exciting prizes too. I can't wait to share out in the open with all the things that we're going to do, because I could spill it right now, but I'll keep you in suspense.
Yeah, I think we should wait.
We should.
Yeah, we should wait. So we have a couple comments so far. So Mika, hey Mika, she's listening at work. Hello, hope you have a wonderful day. 540 Slinger Charters, love the yellowtail fishing at the Coronado Islands this year. Absolutely. I think one of the benefits to this year, not so much for overnight, full day, half quarter day. A lot of the fish this year was pushed out so far, kind of out of the range of that full day, borderline overnight fleet. I think it caused majority of anglers, whether you're a private fisherman with your own boat or the sport boats or the rec guys or whatever, to fish locally because they couldn't go that far. And I think all that yellowtail that we saw at the islands was just a result of people exploring the islands more this year, because we didn't have that bluefin close to home as we have in the years past. But epic year for yellowtail at the islands, for sure.
Yeah, I mean that is absolutely right. I mean, we've been kind of I hate to use the word spoiled, but we've been kind of spoiled by bluefin just being a boat right away. like within full day range for the majority, I'd say a good portion of the summer. But we didn't get that this year, so now we turn to the Coronado Islands and voila, we've got yellowtail again.
Yeah, it's amazing when boats start looking. One of those days we'll end up firing off.
It's like that phrase where the sun has to shine on a dog's butt once in a while.
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
But that yellowtail run at the islands this year, it was pretty epic. I mean, we're talking 2 months straight of just good grade yellowtail. Fun fishing. Some of the most epic fishing that I've had, catching them on everything.
Quality.
Yeah, and a lot of them were quality too. Like, I've never caught a yo-yo yellowtail, a fly line yellowtail, a service iron yellowtail in that much volume all in one day before.
On the same trip.
All within a couple hours.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was bumper to bumper, but that just shows you, like, the absolute biomass of yellowtail that were there.
And it kind of goes to show exactly what we've been hearing the last, usually in the fall time, the boats run out of anglers before they run out of fish. And it just takes a handful of anglers and a free day off of work to really go explore, and you never know what you're going to find.
Yeah. That was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I mean, for me, like, being on the sport boat, like, I didn't have very many days where I could just go out and fish, and this year to be able to just go out and be able to say, oh, they're firing, I'm gonna go fish, and not worry about anything else.
Yeah.
It was pretty epic.
It's a different seat, isn't it?
It is. It's so different. So
nice.
different.
It's nice different too.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'll kind of kick this off here with 2024 almost in the rearview mirror and 2025 upon us. We'll have another episode to talk all about 2025, but in recapping 2024 specifically, our chapters did phenomenally well. We had a lot of great events. I think, really everything kind of leads back to Star and how much emphasis that we put on that tournament and how well we did and how much feedback and just really the response out of the whole community of that tournament. It was really fantastic. And we changed someone's life. We gave away a boat. We changed actually quite a bit of lives with all the prizes, but we gave away a boat this year for the first time ever.
Yeah. I still can't believe we did that.
Yeah.
Like, to be able to join a tournament for $40 or $80 if you're not a member, but now you are.
Mm-hmm.
And what we really saw was, we want people to go out there and fish, and the more entries, the more likely you are to win something. But it really just took one, or in some people's case, two entries to win.
Which both
really
happened.
epic. Yeah, really epic trips and prizes, and now someone's going home with a boat.
Yeah.
Went home with a boat.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's probably the highlight for me for 2024. Just that whole tournament, giving away a boat to a guy super deserving too. Really, really good dude. And honestly, with everything, I mean, I can kind of point and choose or pick as to what events were great and others were okay and all that. But really, all of our events, we have so many different volunteers that really make things happen for us on the ground. And, I think they all really shined this year in many different aspects, in many different ways, to where anything from putting on banquets to also, just giving up a Saturday, having, showing up to a swap meet with the CCA table, raising the flag, and when we couldn't be there. I think it just kind of really sheds a light as to really how this whole organization, how this whole operation works, which is through our volunteers.
Yeah. I mean, anyone who's thrown a birthday party, Thanksgiving dinner, Friendsgiving, wedding, whatever event, Christmas party. I mean, there's a lot of planning that goes on behind the scenes, and for any of you that have done that, the amount of work that it takes. And imagine trying to pull your buddies, your friends, a group together to try and plan something. I mean, it takes an incredible amount of time and resources and energy on top of people's already hectic lives and one or two jobs that they're working on top of our current climate. So we're so incredibly thankful for all the volunteers, but all the people that come out and show up and have a great time at these events. I had so much fun this year. So much fun.
Well, I was about to say, I think one of my also highlights is really just to kind of, this year was your first year. You're 13 months into it, and
It's crazy.
I know. It feels like we hired you like 2 months ago. But I think one of my personal highlights is really just watching you grow as a professional, but then also watching all of our volunteers and chapter leaders and boards and all that kind of welcome you and embrace you with open arms. And really that kind of goes more so, that's really more of a compliment to you as a human being than anything. And really it's been nothing short of phenomenal to sit here and watch that.
Well, I still feel like nobody. I think I talked about this in the meeting we had last week, where I felt like I was the outsider for so long, but now 13 months in, I feel like I'm in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
definitely not more involved, but I feel more connected to everybody in the organization now than I did a year ago.
Oh, for sure. And it's only going to improve too. I mean, we're pretty much all friends now.
Yeah.
And it's like welcoming a new friend in the group, and really, like I said, they've completely embraced you. So well done.
Captain Butch says, "Be somebody." Absolutely, be somebody.
Yep, for sure. Butch, I think you got off a trip on the RP. Tell us about it. How was it?
Yeah, Butch, we want to know. How was your trip?
Yeah. Aside from that, Tonie, I mean, it really has been a great year. We've had a lot of ups and some downs, but I think, the future's bright. The future is really, really bright for us, for the organization, for our volunteers. Regardless of however you feel about the world, what's going on and all that stuff, I do think that there's going to be quite a bit of progress being made in 2025. And I think there's going to be a lot of, there are going to be some changes. There's no question about it.
All good changes, though.
All good. There's also another change that's, in terms of leadership with this organization as well, but I hear that guy's a real jerk. But, it's okay. We can get past it.
I just have to work with the guy every day. It's fine.
Yeah. So a lot of good things to come, but we're not here to talk about 2025. We want to reminisce on 2024. And there is something. By the way, do we have any questions on Instagram or anything that we need to answer?
Butch just said he's the pickup guy for fish.
Oh, okay. Does that mean he didn't go?
Oh, I don't know. He said 2,000 pounds got cut at 310 shop.
Ooh. How does that work when Darren's allergic to fish? Does he have Does he have a stock on rubber gloves?
Oh, I'm sure Darren has it dialed. He said no.
He's probably in a hazmat suit. Yeah, that honestly, that was one of my favorite episodes too, when Darren and Butch came down, and it was fun hanging out with those boys and all that, and all of our guests too. I don't really have too many favorite episodes, but I know that one, all of them are my favorite, but that one was definitely something to look forward to for sure. If you haven't gone and watched that one, though, you should absolutely go and rewatch that one, which is also another change that we did that some people may know, others may not. We were on YouTube this year. That went pretty well.
Was this year the first year of
this year
YouTube?
Was the first year, yeah. Yeah, it's been almost a year since we did it, and for the most part, it's worked out pretty well.
I mean, it's gone up a considerable amount, right? Yeah. YouTube?
Over 200%.
Over 200%.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of that was bolstered by Star. Everyone watching the
Absolutely.
drawing.
Yeah, we got a huge bump from Star. And that was kind of a halfway joke. It doesn't take much to boost your numbers by 200% when you start with 100.
I mean, looking back at some of the people the awesome people that we've had on here this last year, I think Mike Escrow, OPC, Ocean Protection Council. I mean, I think that was one of the most watched or most listened to podcasts.
Yeah.
So we'll have to get him back again.
Virginia came on too.
Virginia was also on. We have to. I mean, everybody who's come on our podcast, we would love to have everyone back on and do some kind of follow up.
Yeah. Scott and Joey from Tatty Lures. They're actually already on the schedule for next year, so they're coming back.
They are. Oh, and you know what? Speaking of, Darren and Butch are on the schedule too.
Yeah.
Remember before PCS?
That's right. Yeah, so a lot of good things, a lot of great episodes again for the podcast. Also, we hit 100 episodes for the podcast. That was pretty cool. So, all good stuff. We had our great friends Kevin, Jeff, and Howie come in on the last one, which was great.
That was quite a rambunctious episode.
Oh my goodness.
Listening back on it now.
If we ever have a couple hours to kill, we just need to bring Kevin back on because he can talk for hours and hours and hours. And he actually will be coming back on the podcast too, by the way.
Yes. We're excited for that, Kevin. Really, we're excited.
Are we? I still question it.
Matt Florentino, thanks for listening in, Matt. He says, nice work in 2024, guys. We appreciate you guys' hard work and commitment to the fishery and the anglers.
Thank you, Matt. We're gonna get you on the podcast too here shortly. I haven't talked to you about it, but it's coming. So hopefully you can make it.
We had some fishing. We did some fishing this year, Chris. I think that was the first time that we fished together.
Not on a sport boat.
On a sport boat.
Yeah, that was fun. We fished in Florida. You caught your first redfish.
I did.
That was pretty cool. It's pretty cool to watch.
It was tough fishing though.
A little bit.
Was that like an off day? It can't always be like that, right?
It must be. Well, I was there a month prior, and we caught some redfish. I caught a snook for the first time. That was cool. But yeah, I mean, next year I think we have plans to maybe go down to the Florida Keys.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
That would be really, really fun.
So we have a comment, aka the Sack. Good morning, sir. He says, any thoughts on the sand bass and white sea bass? I know it's been the big news of the week. Yes, especially following Tuesday's meeting. Tuesday and Wednesday this week. I'll speak for white sea bass, I guess. And Chris, you probably know more about sand bass than I do. But I think potentially for sand bass, they're proposing a seasonal closure. Can't tell you when.
For sand bass, they're proposing, and that's the key word, proposing. It's like an in-season closure for spawning. But again, I can't stress enough. It's a proposal. It's not. It's not definite. Nothing's going in. I know the next big meeting on that one is in February, and I know we will be there, as will half our board. That's on our GR committee and all. So more to come on that one. There's really no news outside of that meeting that happened on Tuesday.
Yeah, so we're on sand bass. For white sea bass, again, this was another proposal that came through relatively recently, suggesting the peak sexual maturity size for white sea bass was 34 to 38 inches. The current white sea bass minimum length is 28. So there was a proposal suggesting that that get bumped up, that salt limit gets bumped up. But again, it's a proposal, has not gone through. We're watching it. We have our eyes on it. Nothing has been passed through just yet.
I'm actually going to make a note here. We're going to let's invite Ken Frankie on the podcast, because I think he's a great resource, especially for the sport boats and being the leader of SAC and all that. And I think Just to emphasize, our jobs kind of change over time, and we focused on a lot of membership and fundraising on our end, and Wayne, who is retiring at the end of December, he handles all of our government relations and leads point on that, along with Mark Gorelnik, the chair of our GR committee. But I think in 2025, yourself and myself are going to go to some government meetings.
Yeah, so we'll definitely, you and I especially, are going to be more hands-on when it comes to those meetings coming down in 2025, which I'm really excited about. I really want to see how it goes down. I've only been present online or virtually, and I've never spoke during the public speaking section, during the public comment. So to be able to go there, represent CCA, all the recreational anglers out there, and really kind of dive headfirst into it is something that I'm really looking forward to. I feel like it's really up my alley.
I know you have been, for sure. So it'll be fun to get you up there in Sacramento and all the other meeting locations for PFMC. I know Fish and Game Commission, MRC, PFMC. There's a whole bunch of meetings that we can literally, and quite literally, Wayne spent almost his entire work career with CCA at those meetings. And there's so many that you can literally find a meeting every single day to attend with government. No one can really truly be there for everything. And, that's why organizations like CCA exist, for going to those meetings so you guys don't have to. But when there's a call to action, or when we really need you in the form of membership, fundraising, and also just call to actions legislatively, we need you. That's why you need to become a member of CCA, to be on the in constantly.
Yeah, so we've got a couple more friends of mine that hopped on. Hey, Josh. We have Captain Noga. That's Aaron Graham. He was there on Tuesday for the first time. He said it's an experience, and he shared a couple thoughts with me.
For sure. Aaron, we need to get you on the podcast too in 2025.
Yeah, Aaron, you're on our list. I hope you're ready.
All right. Anyone else that we need to answer before we move on here?
We are all caught up.
Cool. So, Tony, I answered about my highlights for 2024. What are some of your highlights for 2024?
First thing that comes to mind is Bayback's Classic. That was a big goal of mine, that pretty much when I first got brought on, I wanted to do some kind of Grom event so bad. And to have friends in this industry at BD who equally share that passion and that tenacity to want to pull something off like that, it turned out to be such a huge success, and that was a huge smiling moment for me. So stressful.
Tearful moment too.
So stressful, by the way, because I've never run a tournament before. So to be able to walk away from that was a really positive thing for me. It was a personal goal of mine, and I think any goal that you set out for yourself that you accomplish, it's really fulfilling, but it's also, okay, what's the next thing? How can I make it better? How can we make it bigger? What are things that we can improve on? So it's a constant learning process. So going into 2025, already starting to plan it out and knowing that it's going to be bigger and expecting it to be bigger, I'm really excited for it. I know we're all really excited for it.
We've had plenty of meetings already for next year. It's going to be good.
Yeah, we've got wheels in motion.
Yeah.
Wheels in motion for it.
Have we released the date for that, by the way? Or?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
Be on the lookout. It's coming.
Yeah, so that's also coming down the pipeline. Other goals for me, I think I had mentioned this when I first, the first podcast I was on, when we announced that I was going to be a co-host and I got brought on to the CCA team.
Your last day of freedom.
My last day of freedom. I think I said one of my goals was to see how I can be a better leader for all the chapters. And I think it took me this whole year of trying to figure out where my strengths really lie and how I can be a better leader. And I think I'm kind of figuring it out. I could be wrong. I'm a little rough around the edges a little bit. I'm working on it, but sometimes it's hard to teach a dog new tricks.
Wow.
But no, I think following the meeting that we had last week with our chapter presidents, and you and I talk constantly. I mean, every day. And thank goodness I'm not getting charged. Remember, like back in the day, your whatever phone plan you had would have like overage minutes
X amount of minutes per month.
Yeah, and you'd have to wait until after 8 o'clock to get free minutes. Thank goodness that went away, because the amount of times that you and I are on the phone just talking and planning and just putting so much thought into why we want to do certain things or have it structured. I think it's all going to come to fruition going into next year.
Yeah.
And all the guys were receptive to the changes that we have, and it makes me really excited to kind of go forward and execute the plan that we've been working on for like 6 months at least.
Yeah. Usually this time of year, well, I'd say probably starting in August-ish, we normally start beginning planning for the following year. So we started planning in 2025 back in August, and it's been a lot of work, obviously, but it's been super exciting too. I mean, it's not that, some people may say like, oh, I've been around for forever. Why haven't you implemented these changes before then? Well, I mean, markets change, habits change. We kind of have to, especially in the world of fundraising, you kind of have to adjust to who you're trying to appeal to. And I think we really don't have an idea. And also, not to mention input. Input is super important from all of our volunteers and chapter presidents and leadership and all that. And and I think that's one big thing that I've kind of emphasized with my time here is it's okay to change. It's okay to make adjustments, either on the fly or for the following year. And I think I've always tried and hopefully have succeeded in putting every single chapter, every single volunteer in the best position possible to succeed, not just for them, but also for us too. And, I'm, going back to next year and some changes here, I think it really is a response to all the feedback that we've gotten for the past 12 months. Just being able to really implement all of those ideas, because bringing you on as our third employee, it really couldn't have happened until you were actually brought on and up to speed and all that. And so a lot of good stuff's happening. I think it's been absolutely great, although we do talk quite a bit. I think it's been nothing but good, and really just kind of the team atmosphere and the team chemistry is strong. That's for sure.
Who says the force is strong with this one? Is that Vader? Are you a Star Wars person?
No.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
I believe we've actually talked about this too.
I think I choose not to believe it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, I know we've been on for about 30 minutes or so, but any final thoughts on 2024?
Yoda. Thank you, Aaron. It was Yoda. It was Yoda who said that. But Chris, you haven't seen Star Wars, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Nope. Maybe as a little kid, but I don't remember. But anywho, any final thoughts as we wrap things up here on the year, and also just anything comes to mind on your end?
Yeah, we'll wait, see if anyone has another couple thoughts. I'm really excited for next year. Personally, professionally, fishermanly, if that fishing wise, thank you. I'm excited. I think every new year kind of gives people a chance to regroup and reset and reassess. And I'm looking forward to that for next year.
Yeah. I think for next year, like I said, we'll dive into next year in a completely different podcast. But for next year, or for this year rather, it's been quite an accomplishment to just basically sit and watch others. So meaning yourself, meaning chapter leaders, volunteers, chapter presidents. A lot of them, the majority of them, are super strong. They are super strong, and they've actually developed their own teams to really kind of take care of so many different things that I was always the one to have to do. And it's really rewarding to kind of see, okay, you built your team, and now that team is flourishing because they're building their own teams, which is great. A lot of chapters have their meetings without us, which has been always the long-term plan. To actually see that in fruition and to actually see that happening, it's great. I mean, we give them all the tools that they need to succeed, and they're going out and doing it, which is so great, so awesome to watch. And that's why we're successful. It really is. That's why we're going to be successful in the future. And I think going forward, it's going to be great. That's all I can say. It's tough not to sit back and get a little emotional about it when you're so invested in all that. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been exposed to it this last year, really. I mean, you've kind of seen the evolution over the last 6 or 7 years. 6 years or 7 years? 7 years. Holy cow! So you've seen the evolution more so than, like, my scope is a lot smaller than yours.
It'll get there. It'll get there. Yeah.
But it really does take a village. I mean, if anyone listening wants to come out, and we've got CCA chapters from Morro Bay, Santa Barbara, Channel Islands, all the way down to Bakersfield, Kern County. I guess it's the same thing, Bakersfield and Kern County. Inland Empire, Lake Elsinore. I mean, we've got a pretty wide breadth of our chapter network and volunteers that are very committed to what not just what CCA does, but to how they can help what we're doing. You know, that's really what it's about. And you know, I encourage anybody listening, if you want to get involved or don't know how to get involved or just want more information, I mean, reach out to me, reach out to Chris. We're always attached to our phones and electronic devices, unfortunately or fortunately.
Yeah.
But reach out to us, and we can answer any questions that you have or put you in the right direction. Or if, like the other day, I got an email from someone who's just out of college and who wants to get involved but doesn't know how, and I can absolutely point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, reach out to us. We're here to help. We're here to represent all the anglers out there. That's why we're here. That's why we have a job.
Yeah. Well, speaking of jobs, have we announced the changes yet? Should we?
We have not announced the wholesale changes.
Do you want to go for it?
You can go for it.
No. It's weird if I do it.
No, it's not.
Well, okay. So, in case anyone has not heard, I think there's an announcement coming, an official announcement, but I'll burst it out now. Changes coming forward in 2025. Tonie, good news. She signed a 20-year contract with us. So she's not going anywhere. No, I'm just kidding. The big change is the board of CCA California, the executive committee, everyone has basically voted to entrust me with the organization and promote me to executive director. So
Well deserving, Chris.
Thank you.
It really is.
Thank you. So I'm very much looking forward to it. My job is going to change quite a bit. I would safe to say that. You know, I know Wayne is very well deserving of his retirement, or I guess still current executive director for another couple weeks. But January 1st is when it's going to take place. Wayne is very deserving of his retirement. He's going to go fish. He's going to go spend time with some grandkids. Super excited for him. Although, I will say he's not going to be a stranger to CCA. He did get elected onto our state board of directors, so he still is going to be involved, still going to be around, which is great. That's a great thing for us. Probably not so much a great thing for him because he wants to basically go fish. But ultimately, it's going to be a good move. I'm looking forward to 2025, and I keep saying this, and it really is absolutely true. And I am grateful for the opportunity, and I'm very excited, but it is not lost on me, nor is it lost on my family about how important of a role it is in any organization. And I will say anything, any decision, any action that I take, anything that I do is going to be for the right reason, for the good of the organization, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I see it in where your focus is every day, so I see it firsthand. We're in good hands.
Thank you.
We're in really good hands.
The chapters are in good hands with you too, which is kind of not your new role, but you're going to assume the position officially.
Officially?
Yeah.
I was
the training wheels are coming off.
I was assistant to the assistant director, I guess.
Not on paper, but I think it was nice Michael Scott reference.
Had to throw that one in there.
Yeah, I think I see a lot of growth for you coming in 2025, whether you like it or not. But you, like I said, the chapters are in very good hands with you, and I think coming up in the first quarter or second quarter of 2025, I think there's going to be some more changes happening, but they're all going to be good. They're all going to be focusing on growth, membership, fundraising, GR. GR is not going to get lost. I know that's kind of a little bit of a concern for some people out there, but GR is not going to get lost on CCA because, quite frankly, that's the whole reason why we exist. So just know that we're going to continue on with our reputation, with our productivity, and me personally, I've got some plans, some big plans for GR, and I think we're going to make a huge difference, not only in the state of California, but for the whole recreational fishing community. It's going to be good.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I that's it for me. I got nothing.
That's it for me too. I'm looking forward to spending some time with my family for Christmas, taking a little bit of a break, although not a very long one.
Chris, we don't get breaks. Don't kid yourself. we don't get breaks.
It's something to look forward to in my mind. Don't rain on my parade, Tonie.
Sorry.
Well, that pretty much does it from us. I, again, want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to each and every one of you for listening to the podcast this year. A lot of good things are going to happen for next year. A lot of exciting guests. A lot of new guests, too. I'm looking forward to it. And, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I really hope that, taking a breather, taking a little bit of a break, recharging the battery a little bit this time of year is always a good thing.
And then charging head on.
Oh, yeah, because we're going to start really, really fast in January.
I'm really excited to, I'm not going to do it now, even though I really want to, and talk about Star for next year and the additions that we're adding due to popular demand and feedback from this year. So we're going to involve a whole new group of people, and I don't know, dare I say a couple species on there? Maybe location-wise, I don't know. I'm just throwing a couple things.
I will throw one nugget out there. There will be another boat involved.
There's another boat involved.
Just to clarify, we are going to give away a boat.
The boat's happening.
It's
already picked out.
It's already here.
Yeah. Oh, we have it. That's right.
Yeah.
We have a boat, guys.
Yeah. So a lot of exciting stuff, a lot of great things. Again, Tonie, thank you so much for being you and for all the hard work that you put for us. And thank you to everyone listening out there that really have faith in us to do our job, which is great.
Yeah, we can't say thank you enough.
Yes, yes. Well, that is going to do it for this edition of the CCA California podcast. Thank you so much once again for making 2024 successful, and we will see you guys in 2025. Take care.